I was in New York taking a film, dramatic direction art class. And the teacher recommended us to go and see this new silent film that by this French director. I took called The Imposter. And I took the advantage of the opportunity by inviting the hottest chick in the class, Darlene, that of course I was sitting right next to her. So we went to Soho, we had some drinks, and then we walked to the Angelicas, which is a cinema like the Belcourt here that does shows foreign, indie, and cult films. We went there. The Imposter was an anachronistic film that was a mix of slapstick comedy and absurd. It was silent, and it reminded me of the Chaplin era in the look and feel. With the boards that will come with for the subtitles you can read. And then it will continue the scene. The storyline was about a low-life imposter that he showed up in America from abroad once this rich magnate died, and he showed up as the primary heir to the States. And the rest of the extended family never met him, and of course never wanted him to exist. He comes, he was the closest relative to the deceased. The film was strange, silent, boring for the most part, to tell you the truth. With occasional the subtitles coming, the boards, and then the scene will continue. And the film picked up, you would see in the subtitles when some announcement or something that continued the story, or some dialogue from the character that was important. And the film picked up when, a bit, let's say, when he was discovered as an imposter, and this happened in a steamboat with the rest of the family, the executor of the estate, and at that point he becomes a stowaway in the ship. And the climax of the scene, the climax scene was. And was the last scene that we saw, was when the captain of the ship was with four other sailors, and he was, like this, and the rest of the family was around, and then the board would came, and when you would read, "I want that imposter now." I want that imposter, and I want him now. And there it goes, the film continued just a bit, and then it went blank. That was the last board that we read. And the projector had some malfunctioning, the screen turned white, and there we were, with a dim theater still, with a little light that comes, like that you can see from the screen up there. So the people start making noises and being loud and shouting and saying things, in hopes that somebody will come fix the projector and we can see the end of the story of the film. After a while, when it winds down, some people stood up and left in the dark. And to tell you the truth, like I would have left too, but Darlene wanted to see the end of the film, So there I am, no one came to fix the projection, we were still all of us sitting there like ships. So I tell Darlene, let me see what I can do, and I say, I'll be back like Schwarzenegger imitating the actor. I go out, walk out of the theater, and I look for the staff, and no staff member is around. I see one there at the end, of a hallway. I go, I recognize it by the vest that they have, the cinema vest, and I tell the guy the problem, and he says, I cannot help you. I am collecting the tickets here for the next function that is going to start in half an hour. So I insisted, there are 100 of people, like 100 people waiting to see the end of the film there. And he said, I get fired if I move. Try the box office downstairs. So upset for the runaround, I go downstairs to the box office, and of course, there's nobody. Not only there's nobody, after banging on the glass door, windows and the door, not a soul showed up. So I go back up to the theater, and when I am there, like a few steps into, the people are still in there in the dark, and the little light, there. Something got into me, it wasn't me. I cannot take credit, or I cannot take guilt for it, it was as if somebody pushed me, and all of a sudden, I was saying with my best loud and official voice, ladies and gentlemen, the function has ended due to technical difficulties. And to my horror, I added, but everybody will get 2 free tickets as Rachel. After that, I was like, what did I do? I am alone in this shit. To my surprise, everybody stood up and started walking out of the theater, the first one was Darlene, with her eyes wide open, coming to me. And I walk out, and we look at each other in the lobby, and we went to the emergency fire escape, those doors that you're not supposed to open. But so we went into there, and there were no words, she kept silent for a while, but this Jewish girl, knew that the announcement wasn't kosher. So to break the ice, I said, nobody got the joke out there. And after a while of pondering the situation, what are we going to do, I finally said, I got to pee. She says to me, now with a motherly commanding voice, you be right back. And as I am opening the doors, she added, and don't you open your mouth out there. So I open the doors, and I see the main theater, the lobby, with a big commotion, it was almost like a revolution. All these people, were demanding their free tickets to a staff now numerous around, to a bunch of staff that was clueless about what was happening. And so I walk towards the bathroom, totally inconspicuous, like nothing. And I am eavesdropping, like parts of the accounts of the story, like. And I go into the bathroom, like I'm shit, like what am I gonna do, like do my business there. As I'm washing my hands, a staff member comes in, opens the door of the stalls, like obviously checking for the imposter, and says hi, and I am, like through the mirror, like nod at him back, like. I walk out of the men's room towards the fire emergency stairs, and at that point, like I'm stupefied, petrified, because I see this female manager of the cinema, with 5 staff around and a bunch of people, like watching them, saying, I want that guy, and I want it now, just like in the movie The Imposters, like it was like, whoa. And so I step on my base and quickly go in there, like I go into the emergency stairs, met together with Darlene. Darlene immediately tells me they were looking for you over here, so we're there, like pondering, what the hell, how are we going to do? What is our best exit strategy? And we decided that walking, out, like nonchalant, like by the arms, like was our best exit strategy. So there we are, like come in, and by now the main lobby, was a bit calmer. There were the staff, like with the rolls of blue tickets, giving it out to people. And, like as I pass by the end of one line, I, like I'm going there by the arm, I slow down a little bit, like checking, like, and this girl that was my first date, like, push me forward like as if we were married for 30 years. Like, don't you dare, And so, we walk out, like of the lobby, like, and as I am stepping out on the sidewalk and starting to feel the release, like maybe I got out of this one, I hear a voice, I yelled, somebody yelling on my back saying, "Hey, you!" And I knew that it was bad when Darlene let go of my arm, and before I turned completely around, I had 2 arms, 2 manly, strong arms grabbing me from the side. I didn't even turn around, and this 6'5" tall, bearded man says to me, "I recognize you by the logo on your back of your shirt." And I see that he's with a woman, and the woman says something to Darlene, and this guy, still squeezing me, my eyes were popping out of my sockets. Let's let go a little bit, and with his hands on my shoulders, grabs me and says, "You were great, man. Thanks to you, I got 8 tickets for my family. 8 free tickets." And then he winked at me and he said, "I went through the line twice." Thank you.